Hey guys, and what's up? It is the Merc and the
Litchlord?
here from Poolshed Games to talk to you about beer.
Beer.
And we're also going to talk about some other things, but this is mostly going to be a review of Flying Dog Snake Dog IPA.
India Pale Ale. I think it's from Pennsylvania. Isn't
No, it is from a Maryland brewery in, I believe, Fredericks, Maryland.
It is precisely 7.1% alcohol per volume.
And unlike some
it's good.
other alcohol, beer that has a rather high alcohol content, like Trogue's Mad Elf, this doesn't taste like ass.
No. It doesn't taste like Chris Smith threw up in your mouth.
Anybody that likes that beer, sorry, but, whatever. Why don't you show them what the six-pack looks like?
Six-pack? Looks like this.
It's
from Wegmans?
Yeah. It's pretty neat. It's, I'm not gonna lie, the box art is kind of why I bought this six-pack of beer. The bottle has a neat little saying on it. He slithers through the city in search of his face. No place too seedy, no place too fake. They're all on the menu tonight. And of course she'll find him irresistible, for it's the forked tongue she prefers.
Not sure what that means, but hey, okay.
It's an innuendo. It's okay.
Is it?
More than likely.
Probably.
So, since we've gone over what it is, what the bottle looks like, I think it's pretty neat art.
I think so too. I think
it's a little eccentric.
Yeah, but it's cool.
It is a snake and a dog merged together
combined,
in a Ren and Stimpy kind of way.
Yes, and the snake looks slightly tipsy. But yeah, definitely a cool looking.
All right, folks.
Bottle.
Here we go. I will say this isn't the first one of these the Litchlord and I have had, so this isn't exactly a first impressions video, because we did try it a little earlier, just to make sure it wasn't as bad as Mad Elf.
Sorry, Mad Elf, but we just don't like it very much.
Now, the one thing here, we'll take a sip and show you our faces. I don't think there was any bitter beer face there.
No. It is. I mean, it's an IPA. It's hoppy. It's very hoppy, but it's also very smooth. I think it has a really good taste to it.
Which do you know the kind of the backstory of IPAs?
Yes, actually I do. If I recall, during the colonial times when Britain occupied India, they used to add extra hops to their beer so that would make the trip across the ocean to India.
That is exactly it. Yep. And the trend has continued, and we still enjoy IPAs today.
Definitely.
This is, I would say it's a beer drinker's beer.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a person who prefers Miller Lite or Bud Light, Busch,
not gonna like it.
Even if you prefer mostly Yuengling, you might not like this beer. I'm a Yuengling drinker usually, but I'm pretty adventurous when it comes to beers.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy this. Now, it's not something I could drink a 12-pack of.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really one of those beers you have one or two or three, and then you just kind of, I won't say sip it, but, you gotta make sure it's cold.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be good. I personally, I drink a lot of Canadian beers, as I also like Yuengling. Mm-hmm. But, I really like the craft beers. I really like hoppy beers every now and then, and this is definitely a very good one.
Now, one thing I will kind of say about this beer is, oddly enough, I really enjoy when I have an IPA. I think it's kind of, oddly enough, a dessert beer. I like a really hoppy beer with something chocolatey. I think the hops and the chocolate really complement each other pretty well.
And really, when you think about it, the taste is somewhat similar to like dark chocolate, kind of. So I can definitely understand why you would like it with chocolate. So yeah,
I don't think it would go good with ice cream.
No, it'd be a little thick. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like
a candy bar right now, like a Hershey bar.
Yeah, hell yeah,
or like a
big piece of chocolate and peanut butter cake.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Like have a nice Guinness with your steak for your meal, and then afterwards crack open one of these and grab a big piece of like he said chocolate cake with peanut butter frosting, and I think you'd be good. Yeah. You'd be set. That would be pretty delicious. Now this is kind of our first sort of looking at a beer. We also kind of want to take this time talk about kind of Poolshed games in general.
Mm-hmm. Some of the projects we've both been working on a little bit.
Developments we're hoping to have.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest announcement is hopefully here in June. A friend of ours in our gaming circle has told us about a convention in New Jersey.
Yes.
Which I believe he said is called NJCon, New Jersey Con. Excuse me. And I feel that if we can sync up our schedules, get a little bit of money set back, we will hopefully be going to that. It'll probably only be for a day, probably Saturday.
Yeah, probably.
We'll probably go down early in the morning and leave towards later in the evening. Hopefully by then we'll have our shirts.
Yes.
We might have some business cards with us.
Yeah.
To hand out to people.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
But we'll definitely be down there to play games.
Yeah, definitely.
And stuff. If we get to go.
Yeah, if we get to go, which hopefully we will get the chance to go. In fact, we're going to make it a priority at this point to go.
It's the closest and soonest convention that we can get to.
Yeah.
The other convention we're looking at, which is the War Store Weekend.
Yes, War Store Weekend.
That is in, I believe, November this year, so that's pretty far off. And you also have the fact that it will be during college.
Yeah.
Which, it's on the weekend, so it won't be that bad, but money...
Right. And if I recall, I think that's still just in New York. Well, New Jersey, actually.
It's in New Jersey,
but right, like, on the outskirts of New York. I think, I forget the name, the Meadowlands, right?
They moved it. They moved it because of, I think it was because of the flooding.
Oh, okay. It's
in a new venue now.
Yeah, because it used to be, like, in the Meadowlands there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're definitely going to plan on seeing that, too, hopefully. And there are a few other local conventions, such as... what are the ones in
the HMGS conventions, the Historical Miniature
Gaming Society. We might try to go to some of them, but
we like to go to them. Sometimes though, it's not exactly the same kind of gaming that we do. So
and we prefer mostly like fantasy and science fiction, horror.
Yeah.
Historical. I mean, we both love history, but I don't know. I won't say I dislike historical gaming. I like historical gaming, but I just prefer. Fantastic! I like to see stuff explode in my games, so you know, I kind of like playing in a made-up setting where I don't know what happened, what the outcome is supposed to be. Where it's like, well, Sherman wins this war, or this battle. Where I think it's more fun when you have unknowns and you're just kind of going with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Battle Cry Battle Cry, because sometimes alternate history is fun. Oh yeah, but if it's a miniatures game that I'm going to be spending a lot of money and time in, I don't really want it to be. To be that. The other announcement, kind of project that I'm working on, it's sort of a pet project of mine, and it's a game. Just working title is The Darkest Day. I originally created the game about 2.5-3 years ago. Mm-hmm. It is a zombie miniatures game where one or more players take on the roles of teams of survivors or soldiers. The other players take on the role of the Horde of the undead. Sad thing is, we lost the original version of the rules when my desktop crashed. Yeah. So I'm working on version 2. We do have a hard copy of the original rules somewhere, but I don't in the shed. I don't want to transcribe that. And that would just be a pain. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was 40 or 50 pages long. I think it was 50 pages long. It might have been. It was very good rules too. I mean, from a gamer myself. We both play tested the game probably at least like 7 or 8 times. Mm-hmm. We played quite a bit of it, and we both really liked it. It's very fluid kind of game. It moved very quickly, and it's really fun to be both the zombies and the survivors. Which was really good. This time around, I'm kind of approaching it from a somewhat different angle. I'm gonna try to incorporate a campaign system where you'll have your own safe haven, and during the campaign turn, if it's your turn. You'll be fighting zombies off, or scavenging supplies, or strengthening your compound. And if it's not your turn, you'll be playing the zombies. And kind of in hat with working on that, the dead have arrived. I picked up 2 boxes of Wargame Factory's Zombie Horde Men. I picked up the Survivors, which this is an awesome box set. It's just the men right now. They haven't put the female version out yet.
But you get sniper rifles, grenade launchers. I'm pretty sure there's a crossbow in there. You can make basically the entire male cast from The Walking Dead if you really want to. There is literally a bit that says the Bible on it if you want to have the crazy preacher fighting zombies.
Yeah. The crazy preacher is always a loved. Is always a
it's a staple.
Interesting.
Really,
Yeah, it's a staple.
In zombie.
It's like, oh, the end of time has come and there's zombies and
yeah.
Preacher dude.
Oh yeah. And then we got the zombie vixens. I kind of I was like, well, there needs to be female zombies in my game. So all in all, currently I have 90 zombies, over 90 zombies to put together and use in my game. And I have 2 special zombies, which Fat Man and Little Boy. They're kind of neat models, I guess. I can fight with the blister. One is, well, he is Fat Man.
Yeah.
He is chubby. And the other one kind of looks like a hunter from Left 4 Dead. So they're white. You'll notice I've undercoated them because I'm going to put that paint set I got to use. And we're going to use some of the more generic sci-fi guys we have, like soldiers we have, to represent the more military response to a zombie outbreak. But that's kind of what I have on my burner at the moment.
That's most of it. We're also working on our role-playing type of game that we've kind of been fleshing out a world for, which is going to be called Maricos. We're mostly just messing around with ideas at this point. The ninja, who is in land far, far away, has had some really good ideas on some races, and he's actually created kind of a spreadsheet of the races that we've created. But I guess we can kind of go over some of the simplistic things, or some of the basics, I guess you could say.
I think the biggest thing to say about what we're trying to do with our role-playing game is we're trying to avoid elves, dwarves, the more Tolkien-ish races. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it just feels that
no, I mean,
everything does dwarves, elves.
Right. I mean, I love Tolkien. I love orcs and goblins and dwarves and elves, but that stuff has been done so much in fantasy, and it's nice to. I think one thing that a lot of fantasy role playing especially lacks is worlds that are more original. So we're actually kind of dealing with this like we're writing a novel at the time.
Yeah,
we're kind of writing some short stories in it. We're writing.
Kind of outlining where everything goes.
Some of the history of the world. So far, we have basically the 2 main kind of plot devices we have are that in this faraway land, kind of an island, I wouldn't say nation, but kind of an island in the middle of the sea.
Yeah.
There's 2 dragons that are left from an epic war that happened a long time ago between them and a very technologically advanced kind of very much like a reason and logic race of Cyclopses who live in a mountain. Basically, they kind of destroyed each other. Men and, humanity, whatever other races we come up with, have inherited the Earth, and they are basically dealing with prophecies that are going to be happening. That's kind of the basics of what we have. Nothing's set in stone yet, but I think from what I've heard from all our ideas, I mean, we have, like, Sauron riders, people who ride on, like, dinosaurs and stuff like that, and we have some desert nomad type of race, and we have kind of your basic human races too. But yeah, I think that's going really good, and I think that should be a really fun game. Even if it doesn't turn into a game, I think we can have a lot of fun
short stories,
writing short stories like that, and doing stuff like that with it.
Speaking of that, we'll start the. I guess now that I'm done with college for the summer, and so is the Lich Lord, we might look into starting our writing workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have the bottle opener there? Thank you. Do that so we can bring you guys kind of short stories that we've written. I know some of you have mentioned that sounds like it would be a lot of fun. So that's something we'll look into. And
if you've watched our introduction, we both like to write. It's kind of a hobby that I think we both like a lot. I mean, I'm not going to say we're incredible. We both do pretty well. And I don't know, it's just fun to do. And hopefully if we post some stuff like that on here, you guys will comment and see what you think. And
another thing I would like to see if the viewers would be willing to get involved is if they would vote on what kind of like genre they would like to see written, like horror, sci-fi, fantasy. Give us kind of an idea of what they'd like to see us try to write. That's really what we've got going on.
Yeah.
I have a few other ideas for board games and card-driven board games that I'm going to approach in the future, but right now I think Darkest Day version 2 is going to take up most of my time.
I guess we could talk about some of the stuff that's going to be coming up, some of the new stuff we just got.
Yeah, we could.
We just got a big order of what's in the box coming up. We're going to be having Prussian Empire coming up. We're going to have Infinity Ariadna coming up in what's in the box.
And Infinity Nomads.
Infinity Nomads, what's in the box. We're going to be having the Rolthuza in Spartan Games Firestorm Armada, which is a very good game. New board games we have a Game of Thrones, the board game, and we have Apocalypse, which we're both very much looking forward to.
Indeed.
Going to be having a couple of book reviews, and I think
probably now that I'm out of school until I get rolling on a lot of hours with my job, I'm probably going to be finishing up Far Cry 3 here soon, so I might do a video talking about just what I thought of the game.
Yeah, and I fortunately started a new character in Skyrim, and that's going to be taking a lot of my time.
Yeah. I think once Far Cry 3 is done, I'm probably going to pick up the new Wolfenstein game.
Yes, that looks awesome.
Either that or I'm going to pick up the new Call of Duty.
Yeah. I've been thinking about getting Defiance also, but I'm not sure.
My thing is, Defiance, I need to get on the computer, so I need a Xbox controller with a cord.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm left-handed, and shooter games and left-handed people don't agree on the computer. But I think that'll wrap it up for this discussion of beer and development. We're going to try to bring you one of these videos probably once or twice a month, maybe. Just talk about a beer we've gotten and tell you sort of
what's going on,
what we're working on.
Some games we've played, some books we've read, stuff
projects
like that.
In the pool shed.
Movies we've seen, maybe. I know I want to see Star Trek Into Darkness at some point.
Yep.
I think that was pretty awesome.
I had a friend of mine last night ask me to go see The Great Gatsby with her, so I will probably be going to see that. Because Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't suck anymore.
ever since Gangs of New York, he's been awesome pretty much.
Yeah. Gangs of New York, Inception, Shutter Island.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of good things about Blood Diamond.
I've never seen that, but I've heard some good things also.
So, that's going to do it here for this episode of Beer and Development. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and watching the video, checking out what we're doing. Thank you to those that have subscribed.
Yes, thanks. And if you have any comments or responses, please like or comment or whatever you want to do, or if you like our content. If you want to see us do more of this, let us know, and if not, then okay. But like and subscribe.
But we're probably going to do it anyway.
We're probably going to do it anyhow, but oh well.
Give us a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Hopefully, if you're a beer drinker, you get a chance to try this beer. It's pretty tasty.
Yeah, definitely. Check it out.
And we'll see you next time here on Poolshed Games.